Okay guys, here we go. Now I'm already logged in, but what you see now is a blank page. Okay, I'm going to scroll up a little bit and you can see this control panel here, which you may or may not have seen before. And as you can see up here in the upper left hand corner, I'm in what's called the view mode. In other words, this is what the public sees. Now when I click onto the edit button, some things are going to appear down here. You will see the panes and the framework that's basically makes up the page. As you put content in each one of these panes, they will kind of set the layout for the page, if you will. Any of these panes that you don't use will squish away, and I'll show you how that works in just a minute. We're going to add the title section up here in the top and a little catchphrase. We're going to add some content, which is a rule I've been putting in the top left and top right in a 2-column mode. In a 3-column mode, I'm using left, content, and right. You can change this around a little bit if you want. The write out pane, if you've looked at some of the other groups, and you'll see how we're going to set it up in this one, is where I've put things like the Facebook link, the YouTube link, the contact form for the group, and things like that. Okay, so what I've been using, as I say, as a standard, has been top left, top right, and right out. Okay, and then in addition, you've got these other panes here as well. Okay. So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to add what's called a text HTML module. Now this is probably the most common module that you use. And if you go here into the module thing at the top of the page and in the center, if you just drop that menu down and then hit T, you'll see that text HTML will come up real fast. If I was going to put a title on the item, which in this case we're going to put it in the Facebook piece first, you'll put a title in there. And then in visibility, while you're editing, you want to use the page editors only format here, okay? Because then nobody can see it until you're done and you actually make it visible, okay? It's invisible to the general public. What pane we want to put it in? Well, we're going to work in this write out pane here, so I'm going to drop down to the write out. The first one I want to have be at the top. My alignment would be left, okay? I click the add button, and when I do that, you will see as this page refreshes over here on the right hand side, this box has appeared. Where I typed FB for the title has appeared here at the top, and the content area here for text HTML, and you'll see some various buttons have appeared at the bottom, and this red box, this red container around it, is showing you that it's visible only to administrators at this point. So if you were to go here to the view mode over here at the top, and what you would see is you'll see all those panes have disappeared through here, and you can still see this piece for layout purposes, but to the public this would completely vanish. Okay, so we're going to go back into edit mode here real quick, and we need to put in some content. Now in this case we're going to use a Facebook button. So it could link to a Facebook page, and I'm not sure if these guys do have one right now. I didn't check before I started this video, but we're going to edit text down here at the bottom of this box, or you can get it off this menu right here, edit text, and then the page is going to refresh up now, and you will see a text editor that's very similar to Word. And if we click this button right here, we can go into a full screen mode, which is probably a lot more comfortable to a lot of folks while you're doing it. Okay, you can get a better idea how your layout's going to look. If you click the search button here, you can see we go over into the HTML code, and this little tag here means paragraph, and that's an end paragraph whenever you see this dash here. I'm going to select all and delete that. I'm going to go back into the normal mode here, and this is the practice that you would use anytime you want to put in an image file. Okay, this button right here is the button for putting in images, insert and edit an image. Okay, this little window will pop up here, and then if we browse the server, you'll have another window pop open, and common images like Facebook button, the YouTube button, things like that that everybody's going to use, I have put in the common image file. And right now what we have in there is we have Facebook and YouTube, as you can see. In here there's also going to be a series of pictures of the signers for the Constitution section that I'm working on. This is actually a picture of George Washington. This is kind of taking a little too long at the moment, so I'm going to back up. We're going to click and select the Facebook, and you'll see this is popped in. All right, there's its width and its height, and you can modify that. And when you see this lock right here, the ratio's locked. So if I change that to a 90, it'll also change it ratio wise here, keep the same even thing. Now because I'm going to put a link on this eventually, I want the border to be 0, otherwise it'll put a blue outline all around it. If I was going to have text around this, if we were doing a normal picture, and I'll show you that in a later video, we'd want to control how much space there is between the edges of the image and the text, and that's what you use here for horizontal and vertical space. We're going to use the alignment is going to be middle. In this case, if we were wrapping text around it, we'd probably use left or right, depending on whether you want the image to be on this side or that side. In this case, we're going to use middle. And then this is where we would put the link. You put the URL in here, and then you'll want to use a new window for this most of the time so people don't lose their place. You can certainly do it in the same window, but people can lose their way to the site if they're new, and you can lose folks before you even get a hold of them, okay? So new window, and then you click OK, and then you'll see this is justified over here on the left. Now for this Facebook thing on this right out column, and most things in the right out column, I'm using the center justify here, and you'll see that move to the center. I'm going to go back to normal view mode, which is this one right here. So I go back into this normal editor, and now I'm going to click the update date button. And what you'll see now, as this refreshes, we'll go back to the page. Why is this running so slow all of a sudden? And you'll see now that the Facebook button is here. And if I had to put a link in, this would actually be a link to their Facebook section. Okay, so this is pretty much ready at this point to make it visible, and I need to change the container around this, okay? So I'm going to edit settings, or you can also edit settings here, okay? So we're going to go in real quick and edit settings. And then here you can also edit the title again if you wanted to do something different. But the module we're going to use here, the container we're going to use, you're not going to be able to see that. Now that we're ready for it to be public viewed, we can go inherit view permissions from the page. Check that box. And then we'll go down here into page settings and expand this. And you see this little plus minus sign. Well, on the containers, on the pages that people can see, if you leave this in maximized or minimized, that plus sign, minus sign will appear. So this minus, if you select maximized, is your visibility. And the plus sign if it's minimized. I select none so people don't lose the content and make it disappear and then they can't find it later. It's not common to a web page to have that, and people not familiar will lose their place. Display the container, you're going to want to always have that way. And then allow print. Do you want people to be able to print this particular thing separately or not? In this case, we're not going to say no. Syndication is if you want to put it on a news feed. Since the content isn't going to change on this, the standard option for that is going to be no, so leave it unchecked. And then the container no title will make that where it said FB before disappear, and will leave us a clear container, no outline around it, and no flourish, if you will, and no title. So when we click the update button there, and as the page refreshes, what you will find when we get to the page, this isn't normally this slow. I'm not sure what's going on. A lot of traffic, perhaps. You will see now that the Facebook button is there. The title has disappeared, and so has the red outline that shows administrators only, and the little printer element. So now, if we go into the view mode over here, you will see that what we have is that little Facebook button and no frame around it. Okay, YouTube only lets us do 8 minutes at a time, so I'm going to stop this video here.